Your Toyota is smarter than you think. It's also stubborn. Behind that dashboard, a computer is quietly making decisions for you. How much fuel to send, when to shift, how hard the throttle responds, and it learns. After enough short trips, enough cold starts, enough hours crawling through traffic, it settles into bad habits. Sluggish throttle, weird shifting, a warning light that stays on long after the problem is gone, and a dealership that wants a few $100s just to tell you what's wrong. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Your Toyota already has the fix built in. Not a tool, not a scan, a reset. Because most of the problems people panic about aren't broken parts at all. They're a computer holding onto old information, bad data from a weak battery, learned settings from a driving style you don't have anymore. A light that fired once and never got told the issue was handled. Clear that out and the change is immediate. The throttle wakes up, the shifts smooth out. People describe it like the car remembered how it used to feel. 5 resets, free, safe, completely reversible. Nothing here can damage anything. Let's start with the simplest one. Reset number 5, the light that isn't a warning. There's a light on your dashboard that has scared more Toyota owners into unnecessary repair bills than almost anything else, and it isn't even telling you something is wrong. The maintenance reminder, that little wrench, or the words glowing at you every time you start the car. Most people see it and assume the car is asking for help. It isn't. It's a timer, nothing more. Toyota programs it to count down a set number of driven distance, and when that number runs out, the light comes on. Whether your oil is fresh, whether your car is perfect, whether you literally changed it yesterday. And here's the part that costs people money. It doesn't turn itself off. You can do everything right, hand over your money for a full service, drive away, and that light is still sitting there glowing. So you go back, or you start ignoring it. And once you're ignoring one light on the dashboard, you start ignoring the ones that actually matter. Resetting it takes under a minute and costs nothing. Turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Bring the display to the trip meter, the one showing the distance you can reset, not the total odometer. Then turn the car completely off. Now press and hold the button you'd normally use to reset that trip meter. And while you're still holding it, turn the key back to on. Keep holding. The display will run through a countdown of dashes, and when it lands on all zeros, the reminder is gone. On the newer push-button setups, it lives in the vehicle settings menu on the screen instead, but the idea is identical. You're telling the car the service happened. That's it. The light is off, the timer is restarted, and now when something does show up on that dashboard, you'll actually take it seriously. Reset number 4, teaching the throttle to wake up. If your Toyota feels lazy when you press the pedal, that half second of nothing before the car finally decides to move, there's a good chance nothing is wrong with it mechanically. The computer has simply forgotten where the pedal starts. Modern Toyotas don't run a cable from your foot to the engine anymore. Your pedal is a sensor. It sends a number and the computer decides what to do with that number. To do that job well, it has to know exactly where the throttle sits when it's fully closed. The 0 point everything else is measured from. Over time, carbon builds up in the throttle body, a battery gets disconnected, a sensor drifts a fraction of a degree, and that 0 point quietly moves. The engine is still healthy. The instructions are just being read off a bad map. The fix is a relearn, and it costs nothing. Start with the engine cold and every accessory off. No air conditioning, no lights, no radio, no fan. Turn the key to the on position without starting and let it sit for about 10 seconds. Then start the engine and leave it completely alone. Don't touch the pedal, don't rev it, don't put it in gear. Just let it idle for around 10 minutes while the computer watches the throttle sit at its true close position and writes down the new number. You'll usually hear it happen. The idle drifts a little, hunts for a moment, then settles into a steadier note than before. When it's stable, shut the car off, wait a few seconds and start it again. Then drive it normally for a day. Mixed roads, mixed speeds, nothing aggressive. The computer keeps refining that new baseline the whole time. Most people describe the same thing afterward. The pedal feels sharper, the car moves when they ask it to, and the hesitation they'd been living with for months simply isn't there anymore. Reset number 3, giving the transmission a clean slate. This is the one that fixes what people are most afraid of. Because when a Toyota starts shifting badly, hard clunks, late shifts, that awkward hunting between gears on a hill, one word immediately enters everyone's head: transmission. And the moment it does, you're already imagining a bill with 4 digits in it. Most of the time, that bill isn't real. Here's what's actually going on. Your automatic isn't running fixed shift points from the factory, it's adaptive. A computer is watching how you drive, how fast you get on the pedal, how hard you brake, how long the clutch packs take to grab, and constantly adjusting pressure and timing to match. That's why a Toyota feels different after a few months with you than it did on the dealer lot. It's been learning you. The problem is it learns bad conditions just as faithfully as good ones. A weak battery, a winter of nothing but short, cold trips, fluid that aged past its life, all of it makes the computer compensate. And it keeps compensating long after you fix the cause. So the transmission is fine, the fluid is fresh, and the car is still shifting off instructions written for a problem that no longer exists. Clearing that memory tells it to start over. Now the honest part, because this matters more than the trick. A relearn does not repair anything. If your transmission is slipping, shuddering, whining, or throwing a warning light, this will not save it. And repeating it to chase the symptom just delays a real diagnosis. Check the fluid first. Healthy fluid is translucent and red. Dark brown or burnt smelling is a mechanical problem, not a software one. But if the fluid looks right and the shifts are simply rough or lazy, you're exactly who this is for. Park on level ground, engine off, parking brake on. Disconnect the negative battery terminal, the one marked with a minus, and always negative first because it stops a dropped wrench from finding the frame and throwing sparks. Set the cable where it can't drift back onto the post. Then wait, not 30 seconds. Give it a genuine 15 to 20 minutes so the stored charge drains and the memory actually clears. Then reconnect and tighten it down properly. Know what else this wipes? Your radio presets, the clock, seat and mirror memory, and on some vehicles, a radio security code you'll want written down before you start. Now the part everyone skips, and it's the part that does the work. Start the engine. Let it idle a few minutes, then drive gently for the next 20. Light acceleration. Let it climb through every gear on its own, some steady cruising, some slow rolling stops. Don't drive aggressively. You're not testing it, you're teaching it. The first few shifts may feel worse. That's normal, and it's why people quit halfway and decide it backfired. It's a computer with no memory, guessing carefully until it has data. Give it a couple of days. What people report afterward is remarkably consistent. The clunk is gone, the shifts land where you expect, and the car stops arguing with itself about which gear it wants. Reset number 2. The sensor that's lying to your engine. There's a light that comes on and immediately makes people assume the worst. The check engine light. And the moment it appears, the assumption is the same everywhere. Something expensive just broke. Often, nothing broke at all. The engine is running fine. A sensor simply reported something odd once. The computer wrote it down, and now that light is going to keep glowing until somebody tells the car the issue is over. Here's how that happens. Your Toyota is covered in sensors, and they don't just measure, they report to a computer that's constantly deciding whether the numbers make sense. If a reading falls outside the expected range even briefly, the system logs a fault and turns the light on. A gas cap left loose. A cold morning where a sensor took a moment longer than usual to warm up. A dying battery causing voltage drops. The computer reads as electrical faults. A quick disconnect while you were working on something else. None of that means damage. But the light doesn't know that. It has no way to tell the difference between a real failure and a one-time fluke. So it treats them the same, and it stays on. And that's the part that actually costs you, because a light that never goes off stops being information. You start ignoring it. And when a genuine problem shows up months later, it appears on a dashboard you've already trained yourself not to look at. So here's the honest boundary, and please don't skip this. Clearing a code does not fix a fault. If the light comes back within a few days of driving, that's the car insisting something is genuinely wrong. Get it read properly. And if the light is flashing rather than steady, don't clear it, don't reset it, don't keep driving hard. A flashing check engine light means active misfire, and continuing to drive can destroy the catalytic converter. That's a real bill. But for a steady light after you've already handled the cause, this is exactly what it's for. Start with the basics. Take the fuel cap off, check the rubber seal for cracks or grit, put it back on and turn until it clicks several times. Loose or failing gas caps trigger this light constantly, and a huge number of people pay a diagnostic fee to be told exactly that. Then drive normally for a few days. On many Toyotas, once the computer sees the fault condition absent across several complete drive cycles, it clears the light on its own. That's the cleanest way to do it because the car verified the fix instead of you overriding it. If it's still there, the battery disconnect clears it. Negative terminal first, 15 minutes, reconnect and tighten. Same procedure as before. But do it once, not repeatedly. Once. Then watch what happens. If the light stays off, it was a ghost, and you just saved yourself a diagnostic fee. If it comes back, you've learned something far more valuable. This one is real, and now you know to deal with it early instead of after it becomes expensive. Reset number 1. The one that makes the car feel new again. We've saved the most powerful one for last, and it's the one almost nobody realizes exists. Because everything we've done so far has been targeted. One system, one memory, one fix. This is the reset that touches all of them at once, the full computer relearn. And when a Toyota has been quietly compensating for months, this is the one that people describe as feeling like they picked up a different car. Here's what's really happening. Your Toyota isn't running one computer. It's running a network of them: engine, transmission, throttle, idle control, fuel trims, and they don't work independently. They pass information to each other. So when one starts compensating for a bad condition, the others adapt around that compensation. A weak battery makes the engine computer adjust its fuel trims. The transmission adapts to the new engine behavior. The throttle relearns to a baseline that was never correct in the first place. Then you fix the battery, and nothing changes, because the car is still running the entire chain of workarounds it built while the problem existed. A full relearn wipes that chain and forces every module to rebuild from what's actually true today. The procedure is the same disconnect you already know. Negative terminal first, cable set aside so it can't drift back. But this time, wait longer. 30 minutes minimum. Tap the brake pedal a few times during the wait to bleed off stored charge. You want every capacitor genuinely empty, not mostly empty. Then reconnect, tighten properly, and don't start it immediately. Key to on, let the systems boot and talk to each other for about 10 seconds first. Then start the engine and leave it completely alone. No accessories, no pedal, no gear. Let it idle until it's fully warm and the idle settles into a steady note. And now the part that matters most. Drive it for the next week deliberately gently. Mixed roads, mixed speeds, complete stops, full warm-up cycles. Every module is writing a fresh map of you, and whatever you teach it in that first week is what it keeps. Expect the first 2 days to feel slightly off. That's a car with no memory at all, guessing conservatively. Push through it. By the end of that week, the throttle is sharper, the shifts are cleaner, the idle is steadier, and the strange behavior you'd slowly stop noticing is simply gone. Nothing was replaced, nothing was repaired. You just gave the car permission to forget a bad chapter. 5 resets. No tools, no scanner, no appointment, no invoice. And that's the part worth sitting with for a second. Not one of these required a mechanic. Not one of them cost you anything. Toyota built every one of these into the car on purpose. And the only reason most owners never use them is that nobody ever told them they were there. So here's what I'd do. Don't try all 5 in one afternoon. Start with the one that matches whatever's been bothering you. Give the car a few days to relearn. See what actually changes. And keep in mind what we said throughout. Resets clear old information. They don't repair broken parts. If a symptom comes back, that's your Toyota telling you something real. And now you'll catch it early instead of expensively. If this saved you a trip to the dealership, that's exactly why this channel exists. All about Toyota, hidden features, honest maintenance, and the things your owner's manual never bothered to explain. There's another video waiting for you on the screen right now. Go watch it. Your Toyota will thank you.